The dating pool is no longer trash. The dating pool is amazing. The dating pool is great. Listen, y'all really have to hear me out here. It is just the best thing since 9-9, since Juvenile was taking over for the 9-9 and the 2000. Yo, party people, it's Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, where I encourage single women to be the best version of themselves through healing and avoiding certain pitfalls in dating, love, and relationships. And today's episode is brought to you by my book, Get Unstuck: When Life Sucks, the 30-day guided self-help journal with journal prompts. Do you feel stuck? Do you feel stuck? Okay. Does your life suck? Have you been in the same place in life for so long that you've given up hope on trying to move forward because you're just over it? Then this journal is perfect for you. It gives practical steps to turn your sucky life around. The goal of this journal isn't to change your life in 30 days. The goal is to give you the clarity and confidence you need to begin the journey to moving forward and getting unstuck. You have everything you need right now to get unstuck. You just have to believe and begin to move. This book is exclusively available on Amazon.com. Get it today. All right. Today's episode title is The Dating Pool is Great. Y'all got to hear me out though. But before I get there, I'm probably going to contradict this statement, but it is okay. So I just want to talk about a few things that happened to me over the weekend. Nothing crazy. Thing number one. So, on Sunday morning, I wake up to a very interesting text message. So, let me give you a little background. I, like most people, turn my phone off. Well, turn my phone on Do Not Disturb when I'm going to sleep. And usually I go to sleep around 10 o'clock. Like, hello. So, on Saturday night, I'm in bed at 10 p.m. I'm asleep. And on Do Not Disturb, your phone goes to the voicemail unless it's one of your favorites and they can call you twice and they can get through. But at this particular time, after midnight, if anyone calls me, of course my phone is going to voicemail. So my phone goes to voicemail. I wake up the next morning to a missed call from this guy, and I wake up to a text saying, "Oh, so I'm blocked." This just made me chuckle because let me give you background on this individual. So this is an individual that I met at homecoming. And the first time we met at homecoming, I can't remember, but I think I had been drinking and I met him. So I'm just like, I kind of don't remember our interaction because it was just so much going on. So I'm like, I really don't know him. I don't know if I really vibe with him. And when we were texting, it was kind of weird. So I didn't really follow up. So a whole year later at the next homecoming, which was last year's homecoming, as soon as I walk into homecoming, I see this person and they come up to me and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember you, blah, blah, blah." So we exchange numbers again. So we started texting during that time and we're talking, and fast forward a few weeks later, he was saying he wanted to take me out and all this stuff like that. And I'm cool with it because we hung out once and he was telling me he followed my stuff. And I really wanted to post this as a short video, but I'm like, just in case he follows me, I doubt he listens to my podcast. If he does, oh well. But I'm just I just don't want to hurt anyone's feelings because that's not my intent. My intent is, you'll understand when I get to the end. So what I noticed about him was I felt like he was an emotional vampire. If you don't want to know what an emotional vampire is, that's someone who they pour their baggage onto you and they just tell you all this stuff about them and they seek your emotional energy, emotional intelligence just to kind of keep them going. So they're sucking the life and energy out of you, but they're not pouring into you. And that's what I believe he is. He's an emotional vampire. He doesn't really reach out to me. He don't reach out to me "Hey, how you doing? Hey, what's going on in your life? Hey, how you been?" It's never been that. It's always, "This is what's going on in my life. This is the tragedy that struck." And yeah, he did have a lot of crazy stuff going on, but at the same time, don't pour that on people and then leave as if they don't have stuff going on too, right? So we started to reconnect, and when we reconnected, he ended up losing his job. So when he lost his job, I'm trying to be encouraging and stuff like that, because I'm not the girl that's like, oh, I'm gonna dish you just because you lost your job. No, I'm actually very supportive. I understand. I've quit jobs before. I've been laid off before. So I'm actually a great person to consult with and just kind of be your support system, because I'm going to be there for you. Like, what do you need? You need me to send you jobs? Like, I've helped people get jobs. I know a lot of people. Like, what you need? So I'm like offering him advice, because he's like going into this dark place, and I'm trying to tell him, like, don't panic, chill out, it's okay, take this time to just rethink some things, whatever. Well, I guess I said the wrong thing, because literally he's like, I don't want to talk about this right now, and just stops talking to me. Literally, this was like last year in November. I didn't hear from this man from November till like the beginning of this month. The beginning of last month, because it's May 1st. And I'm just like, okay. So when he came back into the picture, he apologized and was like, hey, this is such and such. You probably deleted my number, which I did. And this is what's been going on with me. I lost my job. And then after that, my father passed away, and I just had a lot going on. And I'm just like, dang, my heart goes out to you, because that sucks. And he's like, a lot of the stuff that you were telling me, the advice that you gave, I ended up having to take anyway, because life just kind of pushed me there. And I was telling him, God has a way of making you do certain things, and it sucks, and we don't understand him sometimes, but it's like we just gotta flow with the process. So I told him, I'm like, I'm happy to hear from you, because I actually was, because I wanted to know, like, is he okay? Because the last time we spoke, it was like weird. So yeah, so I'm thinking like that's just what it is. So we texted or whatever, but I'm not thinking nothing of it, because for me, just from how he like disappeared, that's a huge red flag for me. People who do disappearing acts, I don't like that at all. Like, I need consistency just because of what I require. So automatically that eliminates you from anything more than a friend. But at this moment, I don't even know if you could be a friend, because friends pour into one another. I don't just do all the pouring. So he texted me, and I think we texted back and forth, and then that was the end. I think the next day he hit me up, and I think I responded, but he didn't respond to me for like 3 or 4 days. And that annoyed me, because I'm just like, bro, what is going on? Like, why do you keep doing this? So when he texts me back, I'm like, dude, what do you want from me? Like, what is it that you want? Because you keep doing this hopscotch, jump in and out type thing. Like, what's up? Do you want an associate? You want a random person to just text when you feel like it? Like, what's going on? So he's like, can I have a minute to think about it? And then he comes back and he's like, well, I want to court you, but I want to be friends first. So in my mind, I'm like, ain't no courting. Ain't no courting. You don't have the emotional ability to talk to somebody like me, to talk to anybody, honestly. Like, you don't have the emotional availability, the emotional intelligence. Like, no, there is none of that. I'm trying to figure out if we can even be friends, because you do the back and forth thing. He's like, well, I apologize for disappearing for all those months. I just had a lot going on. I'm like, but dude, even when I text you back, it took you 3 days to hit me up. Like, it's a pattern here, and I'm not with it. So he's like, so you don't think we can even be friends? I'm like, honestly, I don't know. I'll think about it. So that was that. So I didn't like hit him up or whatever. And so fast forward like 2 weeks later. Now, this is me. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100, because I'm gonna take accountability, because I be putting other folks on Front Street. I'm putting myself on Front Street. So one day I was bored. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was absolutely bored. I don't be dating folks. I don't be on dating apps. I just be out here chilling. And so I'm like, he talking about he want to be my friend. Let me hit him up and see what he talking about, because I'm bored anyway. Maybe we can hang out. So I text him. I was like, hey, what's up? This was a Saturday. Didn't hear back from this man until Wednesday. This man literally responded, hey, I guess you was bored. What's going on? Yes, I was bored. But it doesn't matter, because how many times have you texted me when you were bored and I responded? So what? But I didn't respond to that, because I'm just like, you know what? You so full of crap, because every time you want to lay your emotions on me, I am present. I listen to you. I respond to you. But like, you on some other stuff, I'm cool. So all of this has happened, right? So the next time I hear from him is him calling me and my phone going to voicemail because it's on Do Not Disturb, and a text saying, oh, so you blocked me. So that made me chuckle, because I'm like, why would you automatically think that? Thank you for the suggestion, because now I am going to block you. But I responded to him and was like, you call me after midnight, first of all. Secondly, you automatically assume that you're blocked instead of assuming that my phone goes on do not disturb. But you're calling me after midnight, sir. Like, what? No, you were not blocked. You were just on do not disturb. Then he responds, oh, I didn't know our phone had that capability. Sir, in this 20 of the 23, you know our phone has that capability. Don't try to play me. But thank you for the idea of blocking you, because now you are blocked. You see, long story short, even though I just made that long story long, but I feel like y'all gonna enjoy it. Eliminate all emotional vampires out of your life. Because these are people who jump back and forth into your life to elicit some sort of emotional response for their own benefit. It has nothing to do with you. I have no idea how he feels about me. He probably feels nothing for me, but I provide some sort of emotional response that he enjoys. So I believe he knows that I care about people's heart. I'm a caring person. I'm a kind person up until the point where I don't care anymore. When I don't care anymore, there's no access. And I'm so happy he gave me the idea to block him, because honestly, I never thought to block him. The reason I never thought to block him is because I typically only I typically only block people who, one, are disrespectful, rude, whatever. Extremely something I can't deal with, or two, people I actually care about, and I feel like if I don't block them, then I'm going to be tempted to text them. But he's neither one of those things. He's not disrespectful, like in an extreme. Yes, calling me after midnight, that's a bit disrespectful, but I can let that pass because I'm single. It's really not a big deal, and my phone gonna be on do not disturb anyway. But I don't care about him enough to feel like I am going to text him and it's going to be this whole thing. Like, there are no feelings there. But I just want you guys to know, like, if you have anybody in your life who's an emotional vampire and they just come in and out of your life, and every time they come in is to elicit some type of response, either a caring response. Like, I feel like he wanted me to be on some, like, I don't know what he wanted, but I'm not giving it to you. I'm going to give you the suggestion. I'm blocking you. Okay. So yeah, I just had to share that story because I'm just like, what in the world? Like, I'm waking up on this good Sunday morning about to head to the gym before church, and this is what I get met with. Oh no, this is not how we're starting this day. And then another thing that happened to me today, actually. So I go on TikTok. And usually TikTok shows mad love. I get most of my bad comments from YouTube, because people don't actually have profiles and people just be saying wild stuff. And from Instagram, because I don't know. I don't know why. But today I get on TikTok and I have this wild comment. And this guy with 10 followers and no videos. I have to say that because that means, like, he literally created this account, probably like a troll account. And he's probably his 10 followers, right? So he says, on one of my videos, he says, another worthless female just blabbing about things she doesn't know anything about, or something like that. But I'm just like, worthless female? Geez, that is really tough. Like, that, like, you woke up and chose violence, right? You woke up and chose gun violence, right? So I had to sit with that, because many times I don't read comments, but as much as you don't want to read comments, it's really hard not to just, like, read them at all, because one, you want to connect with the people who are positive to increase your engagement. But also, sometimes when you tap into an app, that comment will just pop up. Like, that's what happened to me. So that's why I even read it. So I heard another TikTok yesterday that said, how people speak to you or comment under your post says a lot about them, not about you. So this guy had commented something, and she's like, for example, what this guy commented to me, he's basically saying that I'm doing this for clout. So that means every time he posts, he's doing it for clout. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So this guy getting under my post, telling me that I'm worthless and that I don't know what I'm talking about, means that maybe that's how he feels about himself. And he's miserable and he wants everyone to feel the same. So instead of fighting fire with fire, I fought fire with water. I responded, my heart goes out to you that you would literally create an account. I said my heart goes out to you because you're so miserable that you would create an account just to put other people down. I will pray for you. That man deleted the comment. It's no longer there. Like, yo, come on. Come on. Come on, people. Like, yeah, so in the future, if you get like a crazy comment, sometimes you gotta fight fire with water. Because fighting fire with fire, again, emotional vampires, they want to elicit a response. Don't give them that. Don't give them what they're shooting for. Because you don't get anything but drain from it. They're the ones getting the fuel. You're not. So, all right, into the topic today. You guys, listen. I done found out that the dating pool is no longer trash. The dating pool is amazing. The dating pool is great. Listen, y'all really have to hear me out here. It is just the best thing since 9-9. Since Juvenile was taking over for the 9-9 and the 2000. I'm so happy about it. Okay. So this is me practicing because as we know, the dating pool is what it is. But I need to reprogram my thoughts in order to have a better dating life. As we know, as a man thinketh, so he is. What we speak is life and death in the power of our tongues. How we speak is what will be. So I've seen a few stories. So I know I have a friend, shout out to her. I don't want to put her business out there though, but she's from Chicago. And when she moved here, everyone was telling her how trash the dating pool was. Everyone was telling her how hard it was to get a house, but she didn't feed into it. Soon as she got here, she met her boyfriend, who is actually my homeboy. So I met her through him. So she met her boyfriend, great guy, makes 6 figures above. He has a nice house. He's super cool. No kids, in his 30s, very attractive, like great dude. Met him, then buys a house. Buying the house process took her like a month, 2 months. Nothing crazy. Like, and this is because she didn't feed into the madness. Another dating story. This girl on TikTok was talking about how everyone was telling her, don't move here if she's looking for marriage because the dating pool sucks, blah, 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 blah. As soon as she met her husband before she moved here. She went to an open house and her husband was at this open house. So she got a man 2 weeks before moving here. So I'm saying all that to say, we have to stop putting that out there. And I find myself in so many conversations talking about how bad the dating pool is. And I believe that's the reason it's so bad, because we keep speaking about it like that. We have to have an abundant mindset when it comes to dating. We have to stop talking about how trash the situation is, because that's what's going to happen. You're going to keep dealing with trash, okay? We have to do some reprogramming. We have to. So, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Not talking about how trash these fools are. I'm going to have to start reframing words and saying, oh no, it's not that bad. No, I have a good time. Even when we dating people, like I feel like many times when we're on dates and stuff, we talk about how horrible it is and how trash and whatever. And sometimes, you know, the person that you're talking to, they can relate to that. So that's something y'all can relate to. But I also think it kind of, some dudes, they look for that kind of stuff because they're like, oh, if she's only dealt with trash dudes, then that mean I can come in with the bare minimum and be all right. No, you can't. No, you can't. I'm start lying and be like, it's been spectacular for me. I've only had great experiences. I just haven't met someone that I actually enjoy, but I've had amazing experiences. Like, I'm always going on the best dates. I'm always dating the best people, and they're just wonderful. And it's just, we have to speak it into existence. Like, it starts with us first, okay? Because I'm really just tired of having a conversation. So, yeah. Now, I'm not saying don't acknowledge when stupid stuff happens, because I'm still gonna tell y'all about dating pitfalls. I'm still gonna tell y'all about how, you know, certain situations you shouldn't be in. I'm still gonna be honest about those things, but I'm just saying, like, let's stop speaking doomsday over our love life. Like, let's start talking like, no, it's great out here. It's amazing. This is the best thing. Like, Atlanta is the best place to date right now. What are you saying? It sound crazy even saying, right? Y'all looking at me like, girl, shut up. Like, I don't believe me either. But it's May 1st. When this drops, it's gonna be May 2nd. Listen, we gotta start doing some new stuff. And even now, so I mentioned that I'm reading this. I think I mentioned, I'm pretty sure I have, because y'all know I'm getting old, so I just be retelling the same story. But I mentioned how I'm reading this book called Knight in Shining Armor. And I've talked about how even throughout therapy, feeling more valuable, feeling more worthy, reading books on picking the right people, and all of these things like that, I still sometimes feel like I'm attracting the same kind of people, and that made me upset. So I read this book, and sometimes God in his sense of humor, it just God will take you so many different directions to get to the right path, and you're just like, why you just didn't take me that way? Like, it's just so much easier if you would have taken me that way. But I was reading a book last night, and it was talking about unforgiveness, and how if you still have unforgiveness in your heart, then you're leading with fear. You're leading with a spirit of fear, bitterness, sadness, and all these things like that. So if you're still holding on to that, that means you're going to keep attracting people like that as well. So I'm like, that could be relevant. That actually could be relevant, because I'm really good at just letting situations go and just letting them be. But like, I don't really take the time to fully forgive people unless it's like a big fallout. For example, like my last actual relationship, which ended in 2017, that was a big fallout. So I took my time getting over him, forgiving him, and everything. Like, he is fully forgiven. Like, I have no ill will towards him. If I saw him and he needed help, I actually would help him. Like, I actually wish him well. Like, I hope he's doing good in life, right? But small situationships and like little things like that, I don't realize, I guess I hadn't realized how much of an impact those like small little rejections can have on you, because even when something doesn't work, many times we can internalize it as rejection. So even though I can let it go, not think about it anymore, if I'm triggered, I remember those things, and that lets me know like, you haven't forgiven those people. And then I started thinking about it, and I was listening to a sermon about, how to forgive fully and all that stuff like that. And y'all, I was just wishing the most ill thoughts on these people. I was just like, I don't even know why their limbs work. I hope they crashing and burning right now. So that means I haven't forgiven them. And I think it's just because who wants to be rejected? No one. No one wants to be rejected. No one wants a situation they wanted to work not to work. Even if you walked away, there have been situations where I walked away and I wanted it to work. And women, we're nuts sometimes, because we'll walk away from the situation and be hoping the dude gonna chase us. And when he don't chase us, we feel rejected because he didn't chase us. We are crazy sometimes. But yeah, like, sometimes we be wanting that effort, and sometimes we walk away not because we don't want the guy. We just want him to give us some effort. And when he doesn't give us some effort to us, that tells us that like, oh, he don't really want me like that. So that's a form of rejection. Or, the whole passive aggressive thing, the dude, I just made a post on it today, how guys can reduce you, quote unquote, when they see something that to them turns them off. Instead of just letting you know, they become passive aggressive and just recategorize you. Instead of just telling you like, oh, this isn't going to work, they'll just reduce you to a chick that they'll just hang out with or have sex with, or just, hit up when they bored, instead of like letting you know like, hey, I don't want a relationship with you fully. You know what I mean? It's crazy. And so I've had that situation happen, and that sucks. And people who've done that to me, and me, I'm not about to sit around and be reduced. I think not. I'm gonna walk away. But even in those situations, it's like, dang, like that's messed up. So I'm working on like fully forgiving those situations, because I realized I hadn't. And maybe it's somebody listening and you haven't forgiven those situations too, because you didn't think they were a big deal. But if you have a history where you were rejected as a child in some kind of way, like your parent walked out, like I had a dad who wasn't present, you were bullied, I was also bullied, situations like that, you take rejection more personally than the normal person. So you will internalize it more. So you actually have to do the work to forgive these people. So I made a list of the people that I need to forgive. And I don't really know what to do because this was just my step one. And so my goal this week is to listen to sermons all week about forgiveness. So I listened to a what's his name? Tony Evans sermon this morning at the gym on forgiveness. So tomorrow I'll listen to, I think Joel Osteen is up next, but I'm going to be listening to it. So by next week, hopefully I'll have some steps for y'all. Just because I have the steps don't mean that I probably will be fully forgiving these fools. I gotta stop calling them fools. Fully forgiving these people. But I just want to put that out there because I know that I'm not alone. But yes, so we have to start speaking abundance into our love lives. And we got to start forgiving these fools. I mean, these people who wronged us. All right. So I hope this helps somebody out. And until next time, bye.